let's talk about how they get it. All right, first things first, difficulty. The way they make difficulty in Last Epoch easy is through their systems. First system I'm going to be covering is skills. Skills are very intuitive. You have a skill, you go within the skill tree, there's nodes. Depending on the skill, you could do elemental damage, so you could change from physical to elemental, or dot damage, which would be bleed or poison, or make fire projectiles become one projectile, and the downfall would be you lose the AoE. Regardless of what the skill within the skill tree does, it gives you power in the beginning. Yes, you could choose to go for more attack speed and not for more damage, but I believe most players would go for more damage. This makes more sense. Everyone wants to be the carry and not the tank. Yeah, there might be some of you that are like, no, I like being the tank. Tank's the best. Whatever, man. We all know you want to be the carry. You're just not good at carrying. Moving forward, since that system is so intuitive, it makes playing Last Epoch, even if you're a beginner, meaning new to the action RPG genre, easy to get into. You don't need to be an expert. You don't need to look at X amount of videos or look up any X amount of guides outside of Last Epoch, which I'll note here, they have a game guide within their game. So if you're curious about how a certain system works, just go in the game guide within Last Epoch and read up on it. Not only is it good, it's in depth, which is perfect. That is an important thing that most games I feel like forget nowadays. It's just having the players be able to get into your game and just start killing it. Yes, Last Epoch can be challenging towards later in the end game when you're pushing corruption, but that's something you'll figure out when you get there if you're new to action RPGs and new to Last Epoch. Now, the next thing that makes, Last Epoch fun and easy to get into is the crafting. So if you need more damage, you just look for gear that has a prefix or suffix. I think it's on suffix side. And no, I think for weapons, it's on the prefix side. So regardless, you're just looking for a mod. Then any gear that drops that says more physical damage if you're doing physical damage. And within the crafting system, you get to, it's predetermined, meaning you get to choose how to upgrade your gear once you get the enough shards to do so. So if you're looking for a damage shard, you find a piece of gear, you break it down with a rune called Rune Shatter, and you get that shard. Now, there's some caveats with the crafting, meaning a lot of things are chance. So when you break down a weapon, there's a chance you might get that prefix you're looking for, because you're going to get one, but it's not guaranteed you're getting the one you're looking for. You get one, you get all of it if it has 4 mods on it, or you get 2 or 3, whatever. But it's not guaranteed that you're going to get the one you're looking for. So that's the fun element in that system. And also, as potential forging, it could roll a low number, it could roll a high number. I think the highest in the beginning is like 20, 21. Don't quote me. And low could be like 10, maybe 15. But every time you roll to upgrade, not roll, but every time you try to upgrade your gear, there's a huge potential of losing that forging potential. You might lose 1 point. You might lose nothing. But you have to use the glyphs for that. So there's another system within that system called glyph. Well, not a system within the system, but those 2 resources. It's better to say. And the glyph, one glyph allows the chance for it to not take any fortune potential. And that's the only way, I believe. I think if you don't use it, it's always going to take fortune potential. But with that, you have a chance not to. So there's times where it misses, it doesn't work. It's like a 25% chance or something like that. So you could upgrade your gear and it might break it, meaning, oh, you only got to upgrade once, but now you have no more fortune potential. But that's what's cool about this system is even that happens, you did increase your damage a little bit. You're just not Gobbo now. You're just like a farmer with an axe. If you had to become a farmer to be turned into a warrior. So with that being said, it's such a great system. It's just like the skill theory. It's intuitive. You don't need a college degree in action RPG to understand this. And then the next step that helps Last Epoch get it is their respect. So say you don't like the skill you chose, or I mean, you don't like the nodes that you chose for the skill that you're using, you can respect. And all you have to do is just gain that experience again. Because how it works for the skills is you gain experience while I just think when you kill things, it's not necessary. You don't need to use a skill to gain experience. So while you kill things, you get experience, and that skill will level up. That's all you gotta do. In the beginning, you level up your experience for your skills very easily. As the skill gets higher in level, you need more experience to get another point so that you can use it within the skill tree. That is amazing. Like I can't explain how experimenting in an action RPG specifically, and in most games that have RPG elements, it's so important because that way it makes you want to understand the game more, in my opinion. You want to be like, oh, okay, what does this do? Oh, that's that damage type. Oh, this is how this damage type works. That's not really my playstyle. I want to revert back. I want to try this part of the skill I'm using within that skill tree. Yeah, I like this more better. Now you could do that. So it's it's like no brainer. Like having the player be able to experiment keeps the player not only engaged but makes the game more fun. Like as a player, you want to feel competent, but you also want to feel like you're not getting forced into a situation when you're just starting off, right? You're still starting to learn and be introduced to the world or the mechanics of this game, and you don't want to be punished for experimenting. I think when you experiment and you get punished for experimenting, that's when the game stops being fun and you kind of lose interest. So those three things covered, and then the last one would be um how to hunt down uniques. They understand that finding items in an action RPG is very important. So they have this new system that they introduced when they officially launched, which are factions. Factions, one of them is prophecies. It was probably it's the best one. I haven't tried the other one, but I think prophecy is the best one. And pretty much it says, hey, if you kill this boss in this particular point of the game, you get X amount of loot. Dumbing it down because it's a lot to break down, and the video is not about breaking down. It's more about let's explain what Last Epoch gets. So with hunting down certain uniques, it's easier. Yes, you can't get one particular unique. Like you can't be like, oh, I want this particular unique, this, and then the game's like, oh yeah, this is use this prophecy system, and it'll give you that unique. No, the way it works is, hey, I get a prophecy, I gotta kill this boss. And after you kill this boss, he's gonna drop 5 unique chests, and within those 5 unique chests, it might roll, the best unique chest for your class possible, or just a random one that's not even useful. So it's always the element of Last Epoch of how they use to engage on most action RPGs is just chance, which is fine, but it makes the grind less because you don't need to take 1,000 hours, 2,000 hours, and I'm not joking. I think the first Diablo or Diablo 2, I think is the most popular one. It takes thousands of hours sometimes to get certain items or certain uniques. With Last Epoch, you're cutting that down by at least 80%. And I don't even know what's 80% of 1,000, but like you're going to maybe 2 to 3 hours, and you didn't spend that much time, and which is amazing because not everyone has time to just dump in the action RPG. There's people that have lives, so your casual players have lives. Even maybe you're introducing new players, same thing, lives, and they only can spend maybe 2, 3, 4 hours. So it's nice that they have a system to go to that they might get lucky within those 2, 3 hours of gameplay that they're choosing. Oh yeah, of time they're spending in your game to get the item they want to then fulfill their build fantasy. And that's another thing that Last Epoch gets is like there's so many different archetypes that you could play within this game that there's a build that you could think of in your mind, and most likely you could play in Last Epoch. So while ranting, and I don't want to waste your time, I'm going to end the video here, and I would leave it with this. Last Epoch gets it. I would like to hear from you guys in the comments below what you think. Catch you in the next one.